Hello, Ma.
You hear that a lot about stories of people that have been in soap, that you get typecast. Has that been the case in your career carrying on as an actor?
Yeah, I would think so, definitely. It's like a double-edged sword, really. So I heard this rumour going round, and I went to Julia in the restaurant. I said, I heard this rumour going round, Julia, that you're going to make Nick and Lofty a gay couple. To be honest, I don't think it's a very good idea, because they were never gay in the first place.
What did she say?
She turned to her scriptwriter and said, write him out.
Would you like to return to EastEnders? Do you believe in a return? Everybody thinks that this industry, if you're in a soap or you're on television all the time, you're a multi-millionaire. Is that the case?
Oh, gosh. I'll tell you a story not many people I've never spoken about before. I'm sure she won't mind.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Get Gossy with Grossy. Now, this episode is sponsored by the fantastic bar and restaurant in Beckenham, Soul Street, Beckenham, and sponsored by the wonderful guys at ServiceBox in Brighton. Today, I'm really excited. I mean, as you know, we like to cover everything on this podcast and this show, from reality to cooking to sport. But a big passion of mine is soap. And the real soap of today, EastEnders, Coronation Street, so many, but EastEnders, a great, great favourite of mine. And to talk to one of the legends, one of the iconic characters from one of the original 2015 EastEnders, probably the iconic soap villain ever in soap, the wonderful Mr. John Altman. John,
Hello.
welcome.
Good to see you, Simon.
Oh, it's wonderful to see you.
In a few years, last time we were riding around on a bus with a Marilyn Monroe lookalike.
Well, that can't be bad, can it?
Very lovely.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, it's great that you're here today. As I said earlier, I wanted this podcast to be about everything from the world of entertainment and showbiz, and I wanted to cover soap, and soap is a big passion of mine, and EastEnders is as well. But obviously, I want to talk to the real EastEnder, going back to where it all began, way back when you entered EastEnders,
Yes.
which was in 1985.
85.
When it
No,
started.
actually, it would have been 85. Yeah, it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, when it started.
Yeah.
I think one of the first questions is, how did EastEnders come about?
My agent at the time, Annette Stone, sent me along. She said, but they want real EastEnders, so give it all you've got. So I had a leather jacket. It was from a Beatle film, I think, where I played George Harrison. I had the blue jeans. My ears been pierced for years. Hair made it all spiky. It was a bit of a punk in those days. And she said, go along, do your best. And so what I did was, because I was desperate for a job, I looked up an address in Oxton, out in the East End, the art of the East End, which is where they probably got, and the cemetery there, where the producers got some of the surnames like Fowler and Beale from. So I picked the right place, and I made up this address just in case they asked me where I lived in the East End. And my grandfather, Johnny Schofield Jr., who was an actor, the last theatrical link. He was a Cockney, born in the sound of Bone Bells. That's another story, though. My dear grandfather.
You were born in Reading.
I was born in Reading.
So you were not an EastEnder, although you would never have known that you weren't, because Nick was East End. You sounded East End.
Yeah. So what I did was, and I'm sure a lot of other actors have done this, I dressed accordingly and I acted my way through the audition. I talked like this all the way through. All right, Simon, are you listening to me or what? So I knew what the character was like. So I was slightly a bit edgy, but not so they think I'd be difficult to work with. You know, you can go in there, give him the full Nick. I got the job. But there's a few other people up for it. I think Gary Holden from the Heavy Metal Cruisers, I think Johnny Rotten was up for that part as well.
Wow.
So a lot of people up for the part. I think originally the Cottons were a Caribbean family as well.
Okay.
So, but then they changed. Of course, they had the Taverniers in there, so it was a different family. But so I went in there. Read the script, acted at the Shepherd's Bush, a building on Shepherd's Bush Green there, always remember. Tony Holland was there.
Yeah.
Created the whole thing.
Creator of EastEnders. Yeah. People don't know. He was the creator.
He was, along with Julia. And so I read, and they liked it. What I gave them, I talked like that all the way through. All right then, yeah, and all that.
So did you know that's what the character was when you went in? Did you have the brief of what?
Yeah, my agent.
Was he called Nick Cotton? Was that what he was called that?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But I think it was called East 8.
Because when you went there, you went when EastEnders had just begun. So obviously it was kind of like a work in progress still, was it?
Oh, it was, yeah. As I just said, it was called East 8.
Yeah.
The postal district originally.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what happened was they they said, well, unfortunately, Julia's not here today. I mean, this morning. Would you mind coming back this afternoon? Would you be able to do that? I said, oh, yeah, okay, all right. So I went off with the script into a greasy spoon in the Shepherd's Bush Market, which runs along the side of the Metropolitan line. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
There's a greasy spoon there, a bit like Caff's Caff on the square, actually.
Yeah.
So I went in there, had a coffee and some beans on toast, and I was reading the script. So I really wanted the job. And so I kind of memorised quite a lot of it, actually, by the time I'd finished my lunch. And I went back in and Julia was there. So I give it the same thing. I stood up, I didn't sit down, I stood up, gave it as much as I could, stuff your poxy pub or whatever, whichever scene it was. And, well, that's it. I gave my all. And then about 3 days later, Annette phoned me up and she said,
You got it.
they've offered you the part.
Oh, wow.
Oh, but then I thought, do I want to go into a soap opera? Do I want to be? Because I've been doing a lot of movies and TV as well. And
So had you trained as an actor? Did you train as an actor prior to EastEnders?
Yeah, I'd done a lot. I've been in movies, TV, theatre,
yeah.
and I didn't actually go to drama school per se. I actually, I did a course at a York Academy of Speech and Drama when I was working. I went into the business, Simon, worked backstage because I couldn't afford RADA or any of that, or the Central. I couldn't afford the fees, nor could my family. So I I rang all these theatres up. Once again, I bluffed my way in. This is the story of my life. I saw this stage manager at the Leeds Grand Theatre and Opera House. I don't know if you've ever been there. Beautiful old theatre, based on the Milan Opera House. And so I kind of bluffed my way in, and he took me on because he thought I looked enthusiastic and keen. And I worked there for over a year, and it was fantastic. You'd have loved it if you'd done it. We had opera in there, ballet. Alan Bates came in the Seagull. We had Elton John came. So it was the pantomime, musicals, you name it.
Did you come from an acting family? Because obviously, I did my research. You were from Reading. So were your parents actors? Were they interested in the theatre? You did say somebody,
Yeah, my mother's side of the family, very much,
yeah.
My mother nearly went into the business, but my grandfather, Johnny Schofield Jr., if anybody wants to look him up, he did more films than I've ever done. He was a kind of a character actor.
Right.
And he was in his most famous film that he did was called Went the Day Well. I think he played the local postmaster, and he did a very hammy death over a gravestone.
Yeah.
A story about these Germans that parachute into a little country village during the Second World War. So a bit of propaganda to get everyone wound up and hate.
So there was theatre. There was theatre in the family. There was
my mother's side.
Okay.
So she was quite keen. My father wasn't quite so keen because he maybe realised what a dicey business.
What was your dad? What was your dad's trade?
He worked in the Bank of England.
Oh, okay.
Apart from being in the Fleet Air Arm when he was
okay.
when he was during the war. So he said, bless him, he said to me, I'll tell you what, my boy, said, the bank have a very good drama society. If you fancy coming to the bank, I can get you. That's all right, Dad. Well, thanks anyway. It wasn't, even then I thought, well, it's not quite the same as being in the business. Do you know what I mean? There's that difference, isn't there? I did amateur stuff in Herne Bay in North Kent, where I spent about 10 years of my life. Yeah. And so I did like musicals down there, like Calamity Jane and My Fair Lady and Oliver. And then so we're getting back to, I went to the Leeds Grand. I went on from there to a rep theatre to get my equity card. And I toured, I'm cutting a long story short here, toured around Europe in a really wild, outrageous rock theatre group called Pip Simmons.
Okay.
You've never heard of them.
No.
Legendary. Look them up. They were incredible.
Yeah.
But having worked in a kind of what we call it straight, but a normal sort of touring theatre, they came to Leicester Haymarket, and I was like amazed. I was blown away by them.
That's a lovely theatre.
Yeah.
It's the Curve now. I know
oh,
the
yeah,
Haymarket.
it's the Curve
Yeah,
now,
I saw a lot
yeah.
of theatre there. Lovely theatre. So EastEnders came about in 1985. You went in as an original, really, and one of the first scenes was Reg Cox. He was murdered, and it was by you.
Yeah, which wasn't revealed until a few years later. I think Nick revealed it to Dirty Den when they were in Dickens Hill Prison.
Yeah.
Which in fact was Dartmoor Prison. We filmed it all in Dartmoor. We went away with
Leslie
Julia.
Grantham,
Yeah.
what an icon. What was he like to work with?
Oh, he's a devil sometimes, but
Was
I
he?
loved him. Yeah, we used to drive into work together and listen to Bob Seger and
Dirty
Bruce
Den. I mean,
Springsteen.
so many of these legends, John, they're not with us anymore.
No.
You were friends. Well, you worked with these people. They're icons that, that we grew up with.
Yeah.
I grew up with, like Leslie Grantham. I mean, so was he fun to work with?
Oh yeah, it was a good laugh, and he's quite comforting sometimes. Something's going wrong or other, you can come make sure you're all right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Quite a compassionate side.
Yeah, he was all right actually. Yeah.
So you went in and your first, Reg Cox was murdered. How did EastEnders, going in from being a jobbing actor as such, into a show that really took television by storm, really, didn't it? It took off quite quick, didn't it?
Shook them up, didn't it? Shook the soap world up.
Yeah. Well, I remember a quote by Wendy Richards. She wanted to come in and create electricity and to create something of a. I think that when they said that on the This Is Your Life, I think you were there. That she. It was about Barbara Windsor, Gillian Telforth, that they wanted to create an impact, and they did. And EastEnders did, didn't it? It did.
Great for Wendy too, because Miss Brahms, Are You Being Served?
Legends.
All actors. That's what they want. Do something completely different. It's like after playing Nick Cotton, I played Billy Flynn in Chicago.
Yeah, but when you did EastEnders, going into EastEnders, a show like that, how did it change your life?
Oh, a couple of things actually. I was living in Chelsea at the time, and
Not a bad address.
no, Sydney Street. The
know
old
of
farmers
it.
market.
I know of it.
I used to wait in the farmers market.
Nice
There's a little
address.
story there because there was a job up the road when I was out of work and I was waiting tables in the farmers market. There was a job up the road, I think it was called the Gallery or something in South Kensington. Really small. I was on the edge of Fulham, and you had to put your name down to get a job as a waiter there, and you got really good tips. All these really rich people are coming there. You get a £50 tip for lunch from them, £50. So. And I just got booked to work there. Guess what? I got EastEnders as typical. So there you go. Bye waiting the tables.
Yeah.
But changing my life. A couple of things actually. I suppose going down to Waitrose and people going, "Oh, hello, Nick." And I'm going, "These people are idiots." It says John Altman playing Nick Cotton.
Yeah, but the public believe the character.
Well, exactly.
They own the character.
I soon stopped saying that. And I was running down the Lower Sloane Street once off to Battersea Park for a run, and I looked in the TV shop windows, all the TVs blasting away at the same time. I looked in there, and there was the EastEnders omnibus, and me through the window and on the screen. It was like, oh, this is kind of weird, but I was kind of pleased, It was an iconic moment for me, And just stuff like that, really, that your life changed.
I mean, it must have been like a big impact going into probably the best soap opera on television, really, which started in the 80s. So storylines. I mean, he had quite a tough old ride, didn't he? I mean, he sort of like always seemed to pop his head back up, didn't he?
I know.
Mick. Mainly, we will talk about Dot and June, but mainly with his poor mother that he just hounded.
Yes,
for 20 odd years, was it?
It's strange that storyline. I guess it kind of organically evolved, rather. Because initially, I don't think it was like that. He was awful, etc. But then he ended up sort of trying to bump her off and all kinds of things like that. Or he turned to religion.
He just had no boundaries, did he? Did he have any boundaries?
No,
was there a slight screw loose somewhere?
I think there might.
Let's face it.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the research? There was no boundaries, was there?
Psycho, really.
Yeah.
And an out-and-out liar, drug addict, murderer, burglar. But it was also quite funny, some of it. Like I was thinking last year, and then when Ashley, his son, and he stole the butcher's Christmas, like the two Grinches.
Yeah.
They had a wheelbarrow,
That's fun.
and the butchers were out. They broke in. They stole the Christmas tree. They stole all the presents under the tree and a load of food because he was living in a squat at the time. Took it all back to the squat. And Dot, for some reason, I worked that one out. She was living in the squat too. And then it came to Christmas Day. All these presents for the butchers, nothing to do with the Cottons. Nick gave Dot this present. She opened it up, and it was a pink bra with ostrich feathers, which was Pat Butcher all the way, And Dot opened it up. She went, "Oh, well, thank you, Nick, but I don't think it's really me." They used to write some quite funny stuff in, even though he was pretty dark. I was just, he was. There's some good storylines. Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the icons as well in the show. So you talked about the butchers. Mike Reed, Frank Butcher. What a great icon. Another icon.
Yeah.
And even Pam St. Clement also.
Yes.
A wonderful, wonderful actress.
Yeah, they were great. It was great casting, wasn't it?
But they
the two
were
of them,
what I call real actors.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
EastEnders has changed so much now, and I do watch it. I
Mm.
dip in and out. And don't get me wrong, there are some great actors in it. New generation, a lot of younger actors in it, tackling quite tough storylines. But then they're putting back people from your days back in it as well.
Yeah.
So Michelle Collins is back in it. But she was there right from the beginning, more or less, as well, wasn't she? And then you've got Ross Kemp as well. Tracy Ann Oberman's recently been back in it. Another great actress.
Exactly.
Maybe we might see Nick dug up from the grave.
Well, I was trying to think of something, maybe. Yeah. But I'm not sure.
Would if you weren't killed off the way you were killed off, would you like to return to EastEnders? Do you believe in a return?
Yeah, if it was for a decent amount of time, yeah. Because from a financial point of view, he'd be in and out. I would get the chance to do, as I was mentioning before, things like, Panto, Chicago, the musical, touring around the country.
But being in a soap opera like EastEnders, I mean, everybody thinks that this industry, if you're in a soap or you're on television all the time, you're a multimillionaire. Is that the case? I think that's an interesting thing for our viewers to know, because people think someone like yourself or, I don't know, Michelle Collins, they're rolling in money. They're on television every day, but it's not always. It's not really that. It's not always the case, is it?
It's not always the case. No, I mean, say a character might have been out for 3 years and then running up some, debts and loans and stuff like that. And then they go back in and start paying all that off. So, and if you're in there for, like, say, Steve McFadden, for example, I think, he's been in there pretty solidly for 2 decades. I don't know how long now.
And Adam as well.
Yeah, and Adam's been in and out, but he's been pretty solid. Yeah. So if you're in there for a long time, great. You probably buy 2 or 3 houses and a boat or whatever. But if you're in and out like Nick was, not always so easy. Yeah, and good from the point of view of going out back into we could call it the real world, because when you're doing that, you're just cut off. Really, you don't see.
Are you? In what way? Does EastEnders become your life?
It's full on. It's really yeah.
I remember Barbara Winter saying that script, lines.
Yeah.
Is it constant?
Danny Dyer was talking about it after he left the program a year or two back, saying how stressed he was many times, because of the load. And if you work the pub, you're in the pub, you're generally in every single episode as well. So
how many scripts?
Was it 4 episodes a week now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
For your days, but was it?
It started with 2, and then they upped it to the 4, which I didn't think was a great idea. But that's another story. Because I thought when they made it so big and so many characters, you kind of didn't go quite so deeply into the psyche of each family because they kind of brush over it a lot quicker.
Well, they've got a million storylines going on at the moment.
Yeah,
a million. I don't know how the public can keep up with it. To be honest.
Exactly.
I mean, I wonder where they put one person in and you don't see them for a few weeks, then they bring the storyline back in. But you have to watch it avidly. So that's learning lines. Is a big thing of being in EastEnders. Is it hard?
It depends on you, really.
But your brain gets used to you start. Does the character, when you play a character like Nick, do you kind of know what Nick's going to say next in script? Do you feel it like we're talking now as ourselves?
Yeah.
You know Nick in and out because you played him. Do you know what he's going to say next in the script, or do you have to learn that line and know that line?
Well, you have to learn it like you would with a play, yeah. But you get, say I went back in a month's time, a couple of weeks they send me 4 scripts, which I'd have to learn to film when I went back. While I was filming when I went back, by the end of that week, another 4 had come under the door. And then subsequently, week after week, 4 under the door. You're not in every episode, maybe.
And was that a bit of a ball ache at times? Was it like, God.
Yeah, because it can ruin the weekend, because you're in on Monday and you're filming, so and you've got a lot to say. But as you say, the brain's like a muscle. There's some guy who, very boringly, the amazing memory man he was called, I think, he could memorize a page of the telephone directory because he used that part of his brain. So actually, when you work on something like EastEnders, your brain does speed up. Initially, a little bit slow, cramming it all in. Or like June, who was in there
I heard
for years.
She was brilliant at learning lines.
She was
Is that
great.
true?
She was brilliant, but like I say, she'd been in there for a long time. And the longer you're in there, the quicker the lines go in. It's just the part of the brain is activated. And she said, "Oh, hello, dear." She said, "I haven't looked at that scene yet." And I'm kind of thinking, "Oh, we'll be all right. It's June, And she'd say, "Just give me 5 minutes." She'd be like that. Like that.
What, and learnt it?
Like that. Right, let's run it, dear. Yeah, she's amazing, Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, she was quite something, June.
Tell me about your friendship. It was a very close friendship, wasn't it, with June Brown? You say she was like your second mother.
Yeah.
She was your mother in the show, but she was like your second mother.
Yeah, we were a good team, actually, and we hit it off from the start. My real mother said that she looked more like my mum than she did. Bless her. I've got a picture of her, of the three of us together.
Was she anything like your real mother? Is your real mother still with us?
No, sadly, no.
But was there resemblance? Did you see any resemblance?
Not really, because my mother was quite petite with dark hair.
Well, June was petite, wasn't she?
Yeah, no, she was a bit
tall, but very thin.
Yeah, I've got a picture of the three of us together at Sandown Park Racecourse.
Okay. Oh,
so at the one time they actually met up,
This episode is brought to you by ServiceBox. Ever had something break at the worst possible time? Your boiler, washing machine or electrics? Well, ServiceBox can help you. ServiceBox covers appliances, boilers, plumbing and more, and just for £2.78 a month. They arrange engineers, cover parts and labour, and even replace items if needed. Plus, they'll beat your current provider by at least 10%. And today, you can get 15% off with the code GOSSY15. That's Gossy, GOSSY 15. Head to servicebox.co.uk or call 0800 802 1892. Now let's get back into the episode.
But June and I, it was great casting because I thought we did look alike. And it was similar. There was the looks of the dark hair and the brown eyes.
Yeah.
And so, luckily, we hit it off, and we became quite a team. We'd do things like we'd arrive early. We had a lot to do at the studio. I'm telling you about learning so many scenes. In the morning, you do about 7 scenes sometimes. In a movie, you might do 2.
Yeah.
You know what filming's like.
Yeah.
And so she said, "Come in, dear, and we'll go to my dressing room and we'll have a nice cup of coffee and a cigarette or something." So she said, do exactly that, into her dressing room and run through stuff. And because she's a more experienced actress, she said, "I'll tell you what," she said, "slow that little bit down."
Oh, did she?
That down a little bit. Yeah. Or just and then bring it up again. She had. I did a farce once. There was a guy in the play who'd done loads of farces, and he told me to give a pause before I delivered a line because I wasn't getting a laugh, and I did just that, and I got the laugh. So with June, her experience.
She had impeccable timing, didn't she?
Oh, she's brilliant, marvelous. So yeah, we do that. We spend time together, and we went to Gibraltar together to do a charity. We do the Lord's Taverners, all that sort of stuff together. Lots of charity work when we could. And she gave me lifts home sometimes. In fact, she had the knowledge of a London taxi driver when it came to driving.
Did she used to drive?
Drive
Did
from
she
Croydon
drive to
Boreham Wood
She
every
didn't.
day.
This is something I was talking about yesterday with my friend. How did she do that drive from south all the way over to Boreham Wood?
ITV would have sent a car. That was the difference. I remember that. So I do an ITV job. Oh, have a car.
Yeah.
BBC. Oh, get there on a train. I was looking at the people that went. Anita Dobson. She became like a TV superstar. They didn't give her a car ages ago. And
was that with everybody in EastEnders then? Was that back in the day? But maybe it changed. Maybe
it did over the years.
I can't see Barbara Windsor getting on the tube.
Well. Eventually, words were had,
Go on, I want to know. Give us a bit of grit. So June Brown used to drive to EastEnders every day in her own car.
Yeah.
That's a long way.
Puffing away.
Yeah.
A train moving through London. Smoke coming out the windows. But no, but she had a great knowledge. We get to somewhere, because I was in Chelsea at the time, she'd get to somewhere like Park Lane.
Yeah.
She'd take her all these back streets of Knightsbridge and Chelsea to get to where I lived in Chelsea. I thought, this is amazing. I didn't know this route, So she was, she was quite. But regarding the cars for everybody, Anna Wing, she was getting on in years. She was a lovely lady.
Yeah, Lou Beale.
The Barbara, dear June. These are I don't know.
Did you were quite friendly with Barbara Windsor as
well? Yeah, I was.
I know June and her had a very good friendship.
Yeah, they did.
Because Barbara Windsor was I read this was quote. Was more man's man. She got on very well with men, didn't she? This is what she's always said in her interview. No, Barbara.
Oh,
right. She got on well with men, but I think her and June and Pam St Clement were quite good friends, weren't they?
I think they were. Yeah, they were actually. Yeah. But anyway, getting back to the car business, I think words were had, complaints were made, and it really wasn't fair so that these elderly people have to get pay for their own taxis.
What happened?
I think Anna
They
Wintour was
changed-
doing
did they
that.
change
Yeah,
it?
they did. They realised that people that over a certain age should be given a car, which they were eventually. But unbelievable, really, that they got to that state.
When June became ill, did you see her? Were you with her? I want to talk about it because I think the nation were very, very, very saddened that day when June Brown passed away, and I'm sure you still are. We lost one of the country's greatest actresses. And I think today every single person knows who Dot Cotton is. And they've actually named the cafe at the set On the Dot. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Did you know that?
No.
At EastEnders,
Oh,
they've
really?
got the cafe or something there's called On the Dot.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Did you see her before she passed away?
I did, and I considered myself lucky and honoured that I could go to see her.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, she didn't want to see them. And so I was one of the few that actually went round to see her, because I didn't live too far away where I am, Richmond way, and she's down in a place called Chipstead, near Banstead.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I used to go and see her, hold her hand, and she'd be in the chair, and she still liked a little puff.
Oh, did she?
Close to the end, bless her. I don't know how many. And she was quite funny, looking on the lighter side between the two of us. I actually managed to stop smoking, and I'd been smoking for a long time, but I enjoyed it. It's like, if I was still smoking, I'd probably have all this
So
coffee.
you both used to puff away together?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, the smoking club. So I actually stopped, and I went round there. She said, "Oh, John," she said, "you're so stressed out. Have a cigarette. You're trying to get me back on them." Bless her
I bet
heart.
she missed you when you left the show,
Yeah.
because her family kind of like that was it. But they bring Dottie Cotton in, didn't they? Minnie Zyro, she came in, didn't she?
Yeah.
The girl, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I must have left a bit of a gap, really. But that was very emotional. The last scene we did was quite a long scene, if you remember, in that squat.
The heroin, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And the floor manager, she said, afterwards, she said, "Well done." She said, "I've said to myself, I will never shed a tear watching these episodes. But you just made me do it." That really touched my heart. I thought, wow, yeah, because I felt a bit like that afterwards. We'd been together for so long.
Do you think Dot really wanted to shut the door and leave you lying there to die? Do you think that's really what Dot wanted, or she just had enough of the character Nick Cotton and the way he treated her? Because Dot left you to die, didn't she? And shut the door. I've watched it.
Yeah, maybe I kind of believed that in reality, perhaps she had had enough. It had gone on so long, the trauma of this. Yeah.
Why did they kill you off? Why did they kill Nick Cotton off? Why was it time to go? Because there's no reason why Nick Cotton still could be alive now in EastEnders.
You have to ask Dominic Treadwell Collins that.
Who's not there anymore.
No, long gone. But
what was he like? Is he the exec?
Yeah. I think he also got rid of the Mitchell girls as well, and they were really popular. And maybe Hev too. Remember Hev?
Oh,
that girl like that.
Cheryl.
She's
She's a
still
lovely woman.
Cheryl.
Lovely woman.
Yeah, I know her too. So yeah, I don't know, and I often think it's kind of like, I don't know what, is it the viewing figures or something? Up the viewing figures for a week, bump off a character, and of course there were a lot of people, more people tune in, but after that it all drops down again. And I think it was a shame, and a lot of people complained to me on the street. So they said, I don't watch it anymore since you left.
I think
a lot of people were upset.
John, I think nearly called you Nick. I think
That's all right.
my age group, sort of 30 upwards, and I'm not just generalizing everybody, I don't think a lot of them age group do watch it like they used to. I don't. I really don't. I think EastEnders, the writing and the casting has changed. The generation has changed. That it's become a very young people's show, which is fine. That's what you've got to do with keeping up the generations.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of us that would like to still see, Nick Cotton popping up there and a few of the other characters on the square that were what really EastEnders was about. But then there's somebody who's coming in as exec all the time. I mean, I knew the old exec, Chris Clenshaw. He was brilliant. What he did, I don't know if you ever met him, he's very, very good. They've got a new exec there. he did some great storylines, but they're involving past characters and bringing them back. Even Anita Dobson had a cameo role last year.
Oh, in the
with Sharon in the pub.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think, and she came back from the dead. So I think Nick should come back from the dead.
We'll get a campaign going, shall we?
We should. Tell me about some of the other highlights of your time in EastEnders, storylines, like things that Nick did, or favourite characters that you work with. Like we've talked about Mike Reed, we've talked about Wendy Richard. What a great actress.
Yeah.
You were telling me some stories earlier about some of the things that she used to say and do in the show. Tell me about them.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, every time I came back, she said, "Oh, welcome back, John." She said, "Now we've got a real villain in the programme." Thanks, Wendy. I got on well with her, actually.
Did she run the ship? Was she like topped off there?
Don't mess with Wendy. No, actually, she was quite. She was on the case, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and so she didn't mince her words if she wanted to.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So that was good. I admired her for that. We went on a cruise together on the QE2 once. Not her and I. She had her John with her. Yeah, and So that was fun. Yeah, she collected frogs, you know. Did you know that?
No.
So the public used to, her dressing room, all her shelves, it was just decorated with frogs, different frogs, yeah.
She liked dogs, didn't she?
Yeah,
dogs.
She liked her
Had
doggies.
the dog on set.
Yeah. Miss Brahms, I think one of her doggies is called.
Oh, really?
Funnily enough, yeah. So, yeah, sad to see Wendy go. It was cancer, wasn't it, I think? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, she was young, but what a wonderful actress. She was a wonderful actress. And there were so many great actors of that time. I mean, Gillian Telforth, she's back in EastEnders, as you know.
Yes.
But she's been there she wasn't from the beginning, wasn't she? With Peter Dean.
Yeah.
Who we've never seen again.
No, dear Peter. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen him a few times at various events here and there. Yeah.
So tell me about. So EastEnders obviously was a big part of your career, and I guess will always be a part of your career.
Right.
This
Can't ignore it.
Typecast. Did you find you hear that a lot about stories of people that have been in soap that you get typecast? Has that been the case in your career, carrying on as an actor?
Yeah, I would think so, definitely. It's like a double-edged sword, really. I mean, top the bill in a panto or a national tour.
You play the baddie.
Yeah, quite often. Well, not always though. I did other things, but it was generally. I often use Downton Abbey as an example. You know, if I'd signed up to play one of the servants downstairs, people would go, "Hey, it's Nick Cotton at Downton Abbey." Do you know what I mean? They probably would.
Do you think
But I could have easily. I could have been upstairs. So, you know.
But we still know it's Nick Cotton. Do you think that's a bit of a downfall about being an iconic soap character?
You have to accept it, really.
But look at the ones that are in it from the beginning with you. Adam Woodyard. What will he ever do anything again? Will Ian Beale ever never be anything but Ian Beale? What else could he be? Letitia Dean, Susan Tully. Where's she gone? We've never seen her again. You know, but they're all great.
She's directing Sue.
Yeah, she's a good actress though. But what I'm saying to you is, I mean, even Anita Dobson, I mean, I guess she did reinvent herself, but we would always know that she was Angie. But with Nick, he was such an iconic character. Do you find when you're going for castings and things, do you think that does it get in the way, or has it got in the way?
I don't know. I probably don't go. I'm probably not called if they feel that way. But you know, you hear stories.
Yeah, but that's a shame because you're a good actor.
Exactly, it's frustrating. Yeah, but you have to live with it really, and just. I mean, I feel at the moment that I would like to kind of almost relaunch my career if I could. You know, by playing something completely different, a different TV series. Given the chance, it'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about life after EastEnders. I mean, you did EastEnders, and I was talking to you earlier about this. I actually thought the reason that you left EastEnders in 2015 because they wanted Nick to be gay, which I was very shocked to read about. I mean,
No.
I mean, if you watch it now, that's the kind of storyline they go down, putting the unobvious as a gay couple in in these soaps, which is quite interesting as a gay man to listen to and watch. But I was quite shocked to read that because I didn't know that. But
That's rubbish.
happened earlier on.
That's absolute nonsense. Things get twisted around, don't they? They get the wrong end of the stick.
You would never have been opposed as an actor to being Nick to be gay.
I would, because Nick wasn't gay in the first place. I don't mind playing a gay character at all. But
do you think people can turn gay as stories go on? They meet somebody and life changes.
Well, yeah, it does happen, doesn't it? But I mean, let's just go back to this business of Nick turning gay. This was back in the 1980s, not when Nick left. So whoever wrote that can rescind it immediately. What happened was there was a rumour going. I'd been in about maybe 3 or 4 years. 3 years maybe.
But gay characters, sorry to interrupt you, John, but gay characters in the early years of EastEnders were very rare. There wasn't really much.
There weren't any.
No, but we're talking about when HIV had just been announced. It was a very new thing. And Boy George was making a name for himself. It was all a bit hush-hush, wasn't it, really? It wasn't. So bringing in a gay character into EastEnders that early on in the show, actually, would it have actually have happened? I know they did bring in gay characters later on.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you exactly what happened. A rumour was going around the studio that they were going to make Nick Cotton, and this is in the 1980s, I hasten to add, Nick Cotton and Lofty, a gay couple. Now, we'd been in the show 2 or 3 years. We weren't gay in any way.
I know that.
In fact, Nick used to bully Lofty. So lovable Lofty, nasty Nick were going to become a gay couple and shack up together, just out of the blue. It was like, what's that all about?
Was that the writers? Was that the execs?
I don't know. I mean, maybe Julia and Tony came up with this idea. I don't know. But so I heard this rumour going round, and I went to Julia in the restaurant. I said, "I've heard this rumour going around, Julia, that you're going to make Nick and Lofty a gay couple." To be honest, I don't think it's a very good idea because they were never gay in the first place.
What did she say?
I walked away from the table, and somebody said she turned to her scriptwriter and said, "Write him out."
She didn't.
Yeah, apparently. People lived in fear of Julia.
Was she a rocket?
Huh?
Was she rock?
Oh, you don't want to mess with her, yeah. Well, sometimes she completely blank you out. And other times she could be really sweet, So what happened was then they brought in Michael Cashman a year. I don't know how long after that it was. Michael Cashman and Gary Hales, remember?
Yeah, Barry.
Yeah. And they brought them in. I don't know how long after that it was, but it was in the 80s again. And they came in, and so they had the gay couple who. They came in as a gay couple, and they were a gay couple.
But the writing,
so it was good.
But the writing, very much now, John, could be that a character that's living with a woman suddenly meets a man down the road and decides that he wants to be gay. And they have done it in EastEnders. Tiffany, do you remember Tiffany, Martin McCutcheon? Her brother was in it and had the affair. He was gay, but Mark Homer that played Terry Hills, the Hills family, and he wasn't gay, but he ended up.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I don't know in those days, in the 80s, would that have happened? Well, I guess it would have happened, but it didn't happen.
No.
But I just wanted to discuss that because I did read that you kind of opposed to being gay in the show, because
it was way back then.
Because Nick wasn't gay, which is fair enough.
Exactly. Yeah. So there you go. That's the truth of the matter. And he wasn't. He didn't leave, wasn't killed off because of that.
But Nick didn't really have that many girlfriends, did he? I mean, looking at your love life as Nick Cotton, he didn't really have a string.
Wondered about that.
String of women, did he?
No.
Yeah, you did have a child. You had Ashley.
Yeah, and the daughter.
Yeah.
Little Dottie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's played by Millie Zero, who's now left it, but she was in the show. Yeah. So he didn't really have that many women, did he?
No, it's really boring actually. Yeah, I don't know why.
Did you want to have? Did you, as an actor, did you feel that you wanted him to have more affairs?
I'll tell you a story that not many people I've never spoken about before. I'm sure she won't mind. But Toya is a friend of mine, Toya Wilcox. Yeah, and we did Quadrophenies together. We stayed in touch after. I haven't seen her for a while, but I suddenly thought when I was in there, when I was doing EastEnders, I thought this might have been in the 90s. How good she and Nick, like Sparky Toya, and Nick Cotton. Can you just imagine the two of them together having in a relationship? It could have been quite frightening. It could have been really dramatic. It could have been quite passionate, as some relationships are like that.
Did Nick have an affair with Mary, the punk? Mary,
Well,
Linda Davidson,
it was
good actress.
Intimated, yeah. But yeah, he put her on the game, didn't he? Or he tried to. But anyway, what Toya and I did was I mentioned it to the producers up there, and I looked at her, and she's a good actress and everything. So what we did was got someone to film, a bit like we're filming now in a way, some expert cameraman, and we improvised around her house in Chiswick, just doing all these different scenes together. We set the scene, whatever it was going to be, and then we went into it, and we just fired off each other really well, and really. I gave the video to the producers and everything. I thought, you see you nodding your head there. I think it would have worked really well.
And they didn't.
No, they didn't take up on it. And I don't know if it was like the sort of, actors shouldn't be interfering.
She was a singer, obviously. Was she an actress as well?
Yeah, she's in Quadrophenia.
She did Strictly last year, didn't she? She was in Strictly.
Yeah, and she's done a lot of drama over the years. Actually.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, she's not known for that. But so I think it would have been great casting. But sometimes actors shouldn't talk about casting because that's not their forte. Do you know what I mean? But I think in that case,
yeah. But I think when you play a character like Nick, like you get to know that character. You're kind of you're there. You're implanted into that show.
Yeah.
Suggestions, but did that not always go down very well in those days? There, I mean, I think now you're allowed to give. I think feedback to a director or a casting director is important. I think you should speak up.
Oh, actually, I was just thinking about it. It was always the case because Leslie Grantham suggested June for Dot.
Oh, were they friends then? Have they worked together?
Yeah, they met somehow or other. I don't know where. Been in something together. Yeah. So yeah, I just suddenly remembered that. If it wasn't for Leslie, June wouldn't have been in it.
This episode is brought to you by ServiceBox. Ever had something break at the worst possible time? Your boiler, washing machine, or electrics? Well, ServiceBox can help you. ServiceBox covers appliances, boilers, plumbing, and more, and just for £2.78 a month. They arrange engineers, cover parts and labour, and even replace items if needed. Plus, they'll beat your current provider by at least 10%. And today, you can get 15% off with the code GOSSY15. That's Gossy, GOSSY 15. Head to servicebox.co.uk or call 0800 802 1892. Now let's get back into the episode. Did she like Dot? Did she used to talk about Dot? Because I watched a few interviews and she just said she just used to like the money. She did. She remembered the awards when she won. When she won.
Only in it for the money.
I like the money. Well, I got my teeth done. Can't do it.
Bought a nice house.
Yeah. But did she enjoy playing? Did she like Dot? Because were they very alike?
From the spiritual point of view, probably. Yeah.
Is she quite spiritual?
Yeah.
Is she?
I am as well, actually. And
Are you?
I'm not an atheist in any way. I believe in a higher power. I go to church. If I'm abroad or India, I go into a temple and I pray each morning and meditate.
And you told me about Ebor Alexander?
Even Alexander. Yeah, June gave me this book to read called Proof of Heaven. And this guy was he had a seizure. I don't know if it was a heart attack or what. And he was in a coma for about a month. People kept coming to visit him. He's a really intelligent guy, And he wrote this book about where he went after he'd, had this seizure. And he was in the hospital for like quite a few weeks. And then he just wrote a book about his experiences of this journey that he went on. And this is a really highly qualified.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know she was spiritual. Well, it's good that you are.
Yeah, no, June used to pray for sick people as well, and
she's a very kind person, I can imagine. Very giving person.
She was, yeah.
What was it like finding work and re-establishing yourself? Because that's what you were doing, really, weren't you?
Yeah. It's been okay, kind of steady, really. I've done, done a few films, toured the country. I was nominated for Best Actor in the last Grail Hunter last summer at the Rain Dance Film Festival.
That's great.
Yeah, so that was good. That was a nice surprise. I didn't get the award, but
and you won Rear of the Year with the wonderful Claire Sweeney.
Indeed. And
I don't think many people know that John Altman, Nick Con won Rear of the Year. That must have been a bit of an honour.
It was a surprise too. I couldn't believe it. And to this day, Simon, I've no idea who voted me for Reel of the Year. I'm interested to know.
Was it Smash Hits magazine? I think it was Smash Hits. Remember Smash Hits magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose in those days, Nick Cotton was a bit of a sex symbol, really, wasn't he? Was he?
It could have been.
Did you see him as that?
A lot of female fans.
Did he?
Yeah, we used to get screamed at, you know.
Did you used to get a lot of fan
I
mail?
used to go to nightclubs and lots of fan mail, piles of it, yeah.
Did you? What, to Elstree?
Yeah. But there again, you see, the BBC didn't have a fan mail department, so we all had to answer our fan mail together. So people would
As well as learn
try to get their
lines.
sister or their cousin to answer it, or give them a pile of signed pictures and then to ask them to post them back. You know.
It's a full-time job.
More
isn't
hard
it?
work.
Full-time
Yeah,
job. I mean, especially you were doing PAs as well, were you?
Yeah.
Doing PAs.
Nightclubs, yeah. I do like stand-up villain, Simon, you know. Get on the stage, drive up there in a limo to Leicester or Manchester or somewhere and go to this nightclub. And I got voted PA of the Year once. I never got that. But yeah, it was, I get on the stage and I had a couple of drinks, the same as the people out there. And I start insulting them and telling them that the police stopped me on the motorway. So you got any drugs, Cotton? I said, no, clear off and buy your own, you know, all that sort of thing. As I say, stand-up villain. So yeah, it was great reaction, you know. Yeah.
But the pace must have been fast, like having to learn lines, film, the recognition, the public. It's all a lot, isn't it? It is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot, but
Takes
that's
us a
what
whole
you
week.
sign up to do, I guess, and the
Yeah.
recognition of playing such an iconic character.
Yeah. Great experience. I mean, brilliant experience for young actors coming up and to go through all that. And you go and work on a film, as I said earlier, and you only do about 2 scenes a day. It's like luxury. You get time to.
Would you like to do another soap? Would you like to do a soap again?
Depends what it might be. Yeah. I'd like to do another TV series of some sort. Yeah, costume drama or a decent movie.
Hotel Marigold, didn't you? The hotel, hotel, was it Marigold?
Oh yeah, the Marigold Hotel. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, with various people there. Yeah, Zandra Rhodes and lovely Brish Eklund.
One thing that fascinates me, John, and I have already spoke about this today already, but I want to do it again, probably showing my age, is that I just think that people like yourself and Barbara Windsor and Mike Reed and people like Simon, like Nick, Simon, the one guy that was in Heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
They're
Berry.
yeah, I grew up with that everybody now in the generation should know who they are because they were probably some of the greatest soap actors that we've ever had.
Yeah.
And I do think that. Tell me about you mentioned earlier to me about Ethel Gretchen Franklin.
Yeah. Oh, she was quite a character actually, and she'd tell it like it is as well. Do you want to mess? I think Leslie called her the poison drawer. Yeah, I remember I walked into the Vic one time to do a scene, at the bar with her. I can't remember what the lines were. She's cuddling her little Willie. That is the pug dog that she kept for the uninitiated, cuddling her little Willie at the bar. And I walked up and went, "Hello, Ethel," and the dog just looked at me and went. She said, "See, he's a good judge of character, my Willie."
Was that really her dog? It wasn't, was it?
No, but she was quite fond of it. Yeah. Oh, there's a story about Rowley the dog. Do you know about that?
The Hoover.
I never actually had it confirmed, but Leslie had a wicked sense of humour. I think Julia Smith said to him, "What kind of dog, Leslie, do you think an East End publican would have?" Instead of saying like a German Shepherd or a Great Dane or a Rottweiler or a Pit Bull, he said, "I think a giant poodle would do, Julia." They went off and ordered Rowley, a giant poodle. Did you ever think that was a bit odd? And a giant poodle, he's not going to go for it. He's not going to protect anyone, is he? Just a big softie. So that's one of Leslie's jokes. Amusing thing.
What was Anita Dobson like to work with?
Oh, she was a gem.
Another iconic character.
Oh, she was lovely. And I'll always remember the day she came in because she was the second Angie that was chosen. Because the previous lady, it just didn't happen, and she was asked to. This was during the rehearsal period that we had back in. It would have been 1984, and she was drafted in really quickly. Actually, she had to do all these scenes with Leslie in these mocked up sets that we had in those days. Nowadays, I think they probably still do rehearse on the set, rehearse, record, double fast, as we were talking about earlier. So she came in and she was Amazing, word perfect. You know, nobody gave her a round of applause. You know, so
But she was quite an established actress, wasn't she?
yes,
Yeah,
she's
she worked. Yeah.
well respected, and yeah, she was lovely to work with. Lovely person, yeah. A warm character. Yeah.
Were you one big family? Was it one big family? I mean, I think I was listening to Ross Kemp, who's just going back into EastEnders. He said EastEnders is you're part. It's glue. You're together. You're very much together.
Yeah.
Was it like that in the day as well?
Yeah. 'Cause I wrote down in my journal at the time. I said it was all. Somebody had said that we're all like on a ship heading out onto what could be choppy seas, but we're all together. We're all part of the same team, you know, and that's how it was. And we, you know, well, it became what it is. Yeah, so very successful.
Very successful. Did you think it was? Did they think it was going to be as
You can
successful
never be
as
quite
that?
sure
No.
because there was a show. I don't know if you remember that, but probably too young. But it was called Albion Market.
Yeah, I do remember.
think
No, I
Peter
do
Dean was-
remember it.
Yeah, and it came and it just went. Or things like El Dorado, which became after it. Another Julia Smith vehicle too. A great idea for the expats in Spain. The storylines could be endless, couldn't they? But that faded away too. And did you ever watch El Dorado?
I did. I quite liked
I
it.
thought it was picking up. I thought maybe in the early days.
Holly
it wasn't
Perkins
much
was in it.
Yeah.
Who did EastEnders?
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
Dot's sister, wasn't she?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was.
Good
You're
friend
right,
of Jim
yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Good
Polly.
actress.
Yeah. So yeah, there was another one that just disappeared. So you couldn't always tell. But I think with EastEnders, it kind of blew everyone away because it was so gritty. And the word got around. Did you see that? And you see that. So I think probably word of mouth, and yeah, it became quite successful. I was just thinking about dear Leonard Fenton. He played quite serious, playing Dr. Legg.
Dr. Legg.
He was a great name for a doctor, I think. But what if they got that off a tombstone? Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe, you never know. But yeah, one scene that I wasn't involved in it, but he was seen to Lou Beale in her bedroom. Lou had the dreadful flu or something. She was under the duvet there, and he took her blood pressure and all the rest of it. And he stood up to go. Leonard was a lovely man, but he had this thing with props. He was never quite the best man to dealing with props. And he slammed the lid of his briefcase down hard and picked up the briefcase, walked out of the bedroom, and it had caught onto Lou Beale's duvet, and it pulled the entire duvet off.
Oh no.
There's Lou Beale in her pink negligee with no duvet. They didn't use that scene, needless to say.
I bet she wasn't very happy.
Wow, I think they probably laughed about it, you know.
What was Barbara Windsor like to work with? Did you work with her quite closely?
Yeah, I didn't do a hell of a lot with her, actually, but we were on set and off set.
She came in
good
quite late,
friends.
didn't she?
Yeah, and June and her were really good friends. I used to go and see her in pantomime and things like that.
She really knew the industry, didn't she?
Yeah. I saw her fairly close to the end as well, actually. Saw her and Scott, you know.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think dementia, I mean, it's such a big thing now. It's so, it's so exposed. Everyone knows about dementia and how awful it is. And it was very sad that she got it so quickly and passed away so quickly, really, because there's so many people that can live with dementia. But even she was in EastEnders quite late on learning lines, but she said herself that she found it quite hard to learn the lines.
Yeah, bless her.
She had to stop.
Must have been very difficult, you know.
Yeah.
What a fighter she was, you know. She'd been through so much in her life, hadn't she?
Did the show change when she came into it?
Yeah, I think it did.
Because everyone knew who Barbara Windsor was, didn't they? You knew who she was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so
But,
I think
but people knew who Barbara Windsor was from the Carry-Ons. But back in the day when she came into EastEnders, she was an iconic figure already.
yeah,
But a great bit of casting.
and a good actress too, because she wasn't playing some ditzy nurse in a Carry-On. She was playing this tough East End landlady.
And I think that's what people did. People realised that she was a great actress. She could play. She did the cancer storyline as well, didn't she? And she was a great actress. And this is the thing about EastEnders. It did serve up some great actors. Anyway, look, let's talk about you now. Life after EastEnders. We talked about being typecast, but you have worked, you are working, and music is a big thing of your career, isn't it?
Yeah, it has been for a long time. Yeah, way back in the day, I taught myself to play drums in my bedroom at home.
But nobody would know that if you're Nasty Nick.
No,
I think it's just Nasty Nick.
Taught myself to play guitar. as well, which came in good stead when I ended up doing a film about the Beatles, playing George Harrison.
Okay.
Quite a few years back. So we were none of us were Scousers either. So we all learned the Scouse accent, but we all played guitar. Because when you're watching a movie and someone's just holding a G chord,
Yeah.
play guitar.
Yeah.
Where they're doing A, E, F, and
Yeah.
and D or whatever. It looks awful, doesn't it? So we made sure we played the right chords. So I've had a few bands over the years. One called the Hitmen in the punk years. Used to play around all the pubs and clubs around the west London. I lived in Maida Vale, so I'd bump into people like Sid Vicious, Billy Idol, and Phil Lynott, and all.
Oh,
all that.
wow.
People from Generation X.
The punks, yeah.
Yeah. So there was all that scene going on. I came off that rock theatre tour that I was on back into London, 1977. Sorry. Yeah,
Did you do Oh What a Night?
Yes.
I saw you in that Olympia.
Yeah,
Did you play at Kensington? In Kensington,
I was in
the big
Hammersmith Apollo.
Yes,
Not far.
I saw you in that.
Yeah.
Was that with Will Mellor? Will Mellor.
Yeah, Will was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you in
Big
that.
trio, yeah.
I saw you in that. He's doing really well.
Yeah, he's
good
done well.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you in that.
He was quite unknown when he did
How
that.
funny, because you played the baddie in that, didn't you?
Played a gangster.
Yeah, I remember you in that.
Vinny the Camel. Yeah.
And then Chicago as well. You did Billy Flynn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. We did I Want a Night in Blackpool. I want those theatrical tales of woe, actually, because I used to sing New York, New York with a corrupt policeman and my gangster partner, and we'd sing New York, New York, which is a bit of a step away from all the 70s stuff that it was involved in, but that was Vinny's number. And we were walking. I had two chairs, cane chairs, that I had to at one point during the number jump up on. If you know that routine, jump up on the two chairs, sing again, and then jump off, and then we walk down the stage. So what happened was somebody put one of the chairs a few inches away from the actual mark that it was supposed to be on, and I just went. The song was still going on. The band were behind the screen, so they couldn't see me. I just went right over on my back and lying down, looking up at the lights, and the audience all lauged.
It was a gag.
They all thought it was a gag. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So my two partners in crime, they came and picked me up. I took a deep breath and walked down. It's up to you, and went down and finished.
How long were you in
number.
Chicago for? Did you do the whole
525 around the country. It was
Wow.
best tour I ever did, I think. Yeah,
Great
loved it.
show, yeah.
Oh, and we did 2 weeks in each place, which was great.
Yeah.
You done any touring at all?
Yeah,
we
loads.
know
yeah,
about it.
yeah, it's hard work.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it is.
in and out of digs and stuff.
A week in each place.
Yeah.
But with that show, we were 2 in each place.
Was that after EastEnders?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
After I'd done, we didn't mention it, but the Nick Cotton special.
Yeah.
There was they call it a soap bubble. I think
Tell me about that. Was that after you were killed off? Did they kind of bring you back, or was that
This was in
before-
2001.
Right. Oh, so it's before you were killed
Long
off.
time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I just and I came out, and we shot it all in Birmingham. It was supposed to be North London, and it was Nick searching for his son.
Yeah.
I mentioned before, Frankie Fitzgerald's Ashley. Yeah. So
How was it working with Frankie, having a son come into the show?
it was great. And I made a point of meeting him in the West End. I went to Hyde Park, went out, took a boat out. And
They killed him off pretty brutally, didn't they? Motorbike through a window, laundrette window.
driving into the shop front. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
The
whether-
laundrette.
And we were just getting on really well together, you know. And he was a really good little actor as well.
It seems to me the Cottons kind of got tore apart, really, didn't they? Charlie Cotton, the
He got
father,
killed in a
good actor.
Within the first year or so.
Yeah. Then they did that to you. Then they got rid of the son.
Yeah.
Yet the Cottons, now younger generation, are slowly coming back in.
Yeah, but what's left on depleted. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why. June used to say that. I think they got it in for us, dear. They're bumping us all
They
up.
kept. They was never going to get rid of Dot, though, were they?
No. Oh no. No, certainly not. That would have almost been sacrilegious, wouldn't it? Yeah.
So
Soap Queen. Yeah.
and the book.
Dame.
You've written a book. She was never. She wasn't. Was she a dame? She wasn't. Was she? She wasn't knighted. Was she? She should have been. She wasn't. Was she?
No. You know.
Barbara Windsor was.
Yeah, I
she
think
was.
June Darmo should have been. And also, she was up. She did that program on her own, a one-woman show. Do you remember?
Oh, who do you think you are?
Within EastEnders, she had an entire episode to herself. Have you ever seen that?
Don't think I saw that one.
No.
No.
Anyway, it was a great performance. 30 minutes of non-stop.
The two-hander with
Mon-
Wretchem was brilliant.
Yeah, she did that.
And she helped her die, didn't she?
But June actually did one on her own, and she was up for a BAFTA, TV BAFTA, and she lost out to a young actress. I can't remember what her name was now, but I think, and she was getting on then as well. And you thought, she really deserved to get a BAFTA for that. So one of her daughters mocked up this thing with some tinfoil, and they called it a NAFTA.
Yeah.
And they put it in the
But
glass
she
case.
won several awards. Indeed, you probably did as well. She did win several awards, didn't she? Won Best Soap Actress, and she did, didn't she? She won.
Did she?
Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah, I think I
remember.
saw her at the Soap Awards, and she won Legend. I think that was a few years ago.
Legendary character. Perhaps.
Yeah, I think you were with the guy that played the love interest that came into the show. I forgot his name. She became friendly with a man in the show. Forgot his name. Not Charlotte. I can't remember.
Okay.
So before we wrap up, the book you've written a book, an
Yeah.
Audible. Yes. So everyone needs to call Just in the Nick of Time.
It's called an egg. What else could we have called it?
There you go.
Yeah, and it's available as a hardback book, and it's also on Audible. So, and I actually read it. I spent a whole week in the studio just reading my book, which is quite a weird.
And is that just what is that about your life? Is that about your life?
Yeah, my life.
And
Yeah.
EastEnders.
Yeah. Yes, I've kept journals throughout the years. So it's really.
Did you?
I still keep a journal every day. You'll be in there tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Maybe
all
I'll
good
be.
things.
I hope so. This episode is brought to you by ServiceBox. Ever had something break at the worst possible time? Your boiler, washing machine, or electrics? Well, ServiceBox can help you. ServiceBox covers appliances, boilers, plumbing, and more, and just for £2.78 a month. They arrange engineers, cover parts and labour, and even replace items if needed. Plus, they'll beat your current provider by at least 10%. And today, you can get 15% off with the code GOSSY15. That's Gossy, GOSSY 15. Head to servicebox.co.uk or call 0800 802 1892. Now let's get back into the episode.
Did I mention the single?
Yeah.
It's called Sat Nav Girl, coming out on video soon on a platform near you. Yeah. So
What does John Altman do with his life now? So you've got a daughter, haven't you? How old? You have got a daughter.
Yes, I have.
How
yeah.
old's your daughter now? She must be grown up.
My daughter, yeah, she's 39. Yeah.
Wow.
And my little granddaughter's 11.
And you've got grandchildren.
Only the one, Lily. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is life taking easier now, or what is life for John Altman now?
Not really. No. So loads of things. We're working in the theatre. Got sorting out this video out. Just changed agents with a lovely chap called Thomas Bowington now, and I'm looking for. I'm working on a voiceover agency as well. So it's all go. Yeah, I haven't done voiceover. I've done only for a while. I did quite a few over the years. Yeah.
I'd love to see you back on that show.
I know you would.
Come back out of the dead, just like he's back.
Ha.
Well, they've done it several other times in shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two things before we wrap up. I want you to tell me, what would you like written on your gravestone?
Oh gosh.
Before you say that, have a think. Your legendary catchphrase has got to be, and I don't know if I could be as butch as you. Hello, Ma.
Yeah. I wouldn't put that on the gravestone.
Can you give us a really good hello, Ma, before we finish?
Just for you? Yeah, I'll do it for
Not
you.
just for me, for all these other people
For the camera.
that
Yeah.
love it.
Okay. Hello, Ma. Doof, and all that. What else were you
What would
saying?
you like to be remembered by? What would you like written on your gravestone?
Oh God, I'm trying to think something. I just thought of something off the top of my head. He was well loathed and well loved. So two things there, Well, I don't know. I don't think wouldn't be quite good enough. I just think of something better than that. But yeah, because you're talking about the fictional world and the real world, But
that's what I found about this interview. I'm talking to you as John Altman, an actor, but I do feel like I'm talking to Nick Cotton as well, because that's what people do see you as. That's who you're iconically known as.
yeah.
But I think talking to you more now today, John, and getting to know you, your life and you are worlds apart from who Nick Cotton really was.
Yeah, for sure.
But yet you played him so convincingly and so brilliantly, you know? That's what, I mean, I think that's what's so fascinating about soaps and actors is that we as the public believe that you really are that person.
Yeah. So I guess I did a good job.
You did do a good job. And on that note, I think we should end it there. Thank you, John. It's been lovely
Simon.
having you here today and hearing your story. Thank you.